Welcome back. This is episode 52, and things are really going to start kicking into gear now. But before they do, I'm going to uh, build up the suspense just a little bit more. First, I want to see what that new stance is. We have powers. Let's see, trio. That's one of the newer ones. Let's see, not good against Jedi, but good against other opponents. You lose defense, but you do gain attacks per round +1. Oh, sweet. So it costs a -4 defense and a little bit of saves versus force power. You get an extra attack per round and a bit of a critical attack modifier. Huh. That's pretty cool. Nimin is just +1 to everything. That's pretty nice. Wow, Jugyo is... I really like that. I'm going to put that on. That'll be 6 attacks in a round with flurry and force speed. Huh. Yeah, even if I'm not fighting just one opponent, that might be kind of worth it. Okay, let's see though. I'm gonna make one more round through my companions, see if they have anything to say. I have some questions. Did that. Yeah, I think I did all this already. The other HK units.
Recitation. Theory.
I already talked to them, didn't I? I guess I... I already completed that one. Alright, not sure why. Well.
Statement.
Where are they being created?
Statement. The facility.
It will trigger further along the main plot. Alrighty, I'll take your word for it. So I guess we should go to Dantooine then, right? Let me talk to...
Yeah, what do you... Oh, now we're... Now...
Alright. Talk to him already. Goto. What about Goto? Serious times? No. Make do with less. Where's your base of operations? Yep. You wanted me to say that? I already did that. There's nothing more to be done now. The critical point is you and the Jedi Warrior. That sounds a little ominous.
Of course, it sounds ominous. I am given to such theatrics as part of my programming.
If you're trying to ease the pressure, you're not succeeding.
I have no wish to. I enjoy watching you squirm.
Great.
I have, however, observed that you perform beyond expectations when subjected to extreme stress and pressure.
Great.
Thus, I am curious to see how that behavior may be maximized.
Was that a compliment?
I don't give compliments. I provide observations.
Haha.
Even if it was a compliment, I will never admit it.
I see. Do you know anything? Wasn't there a... there was a check? No. Guess there really is an influence check. I could have sworn there was. Mira, I think, has one, but I probably can't see it. Grenades?
Not right now.
No.
God.
You seem
All
restless.
this travel.
I already did this. Were you raising Ursula?
Look, before we get into it,
No. Don't have enough influence with her yet. Alright. I do remember a little bit about... not much, but a little bit about Beodur, her, and Goto I could share. I'd really like to talk to her. We can unlock it, you know, through the game itself and just show you, you know, show don't tell and all that. But we'll see if maybe we can gain influence with them later on, and if we can't, I'll just remind me and I'll tell you about them at some point. What about you, good old T3? Did you know Mandalore? Once? What happened? Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we? How's the Ebon Hawk? Alright, I'll take it as good. Alright, you guys ready? Put it off long enough, I think. Let's travel to... wait a minute. First, I want to make sure my lightsaber's actually upgraded, right? It is, and... restricted to Leovara. Cool. I've got my main jacket on with my energy resistance. Universal D package, which is one of the best in the game. They're probably better masks, honestly. Arguably, at least. But +2 wisdom's not bad. Immunity to dark side's actually really nice, too. So this actually you could make an argument for this being one of the best head pieces in the game, and it looks decent, which is important. Ceremonial Shield gives me a lot to saves, and Leovar's Armband. Can't wear Ludocrash's Armband because it's restricted to Dark Side. I can always replace this with an Energy Shield if needed, and my good old Strength Belt. So yeah, this is without the, I know the screen just flickered. I don't know why it's happening, it just is going to happen, but as long as it doesn't get too bad, I won't reset it. Okay, so, quick save, and then, let's begin, shall we? To Dantooine. Where's Dantooine? There it is. And we're back at a planet that, I don't want to say started it all, but I mean it is a very important planet in the lore of this era. I mean, it's our first planet we went to once we had the choice opened up, and it's, alright, I guess we should probably take Kreia with us. And let's take the Disciple. Not really sure it matters. Oh, level them both up.
Something you
Started playing the Droid Planet music again. I was worried I was gonna be stuck with that tune because it's okay for that planet, but I wouldn't want to hear it the rest of the game. All right, Master Force Focus, nice. Makes him more powerful with his Force abilities. I could give him. I have the improved regen. Guess lightsaber focus. Sure, let's go with that. Force channel. That's a Force form, I believe. Can't do Force speed. Can't do most of these because of the armor he wears. Could do fear. I can't do stun, can I? Then again, the main character has fear. I can't do Dread Force. Not really a huge reason to do most of these. Restricted by armor. I could do slow. How about plague is restricted by armor? Insanity is not. It would be good to do insanity. Wait, is stun? Stasis field is. Sandy isn't. It's weird. Alright, let's go with Insanity then, I guess. Just because there's not really much of a choice. I could do with her lightsaber, that's actually... Maybe I'll do that. Oh, he gets 2 points. There we go, perfect. I can level him up again. Alright, more strength it is then. More powers. I guess I'll start giving him the fear now. And Kreia. Get her wisdom up there a little more. Her skills. Wonder if she has a second level up as well. Jeez, she's been a consular since tier 1, so she's got a lot of force powers at this point. Power meditation, that's right. Knew we were doing something. Alright, can't level her up anymore. She's a little bit light side. I've had some influence on her, but not a ton. Alright. And I think she wants us to go to the Jedi Temple, right?
We must go. I have no time for...
Alrighty. You could say hi to the administrator, but let's not really bother. Alright, so... Bit of a trek to get there, but at least you got a... Dantooine is nice looking. After being inside on that droid planet for so long, it's nice to see the grasses blowing in the breeze and hear the sound of falling water in the background. Very soothing and natural. Alright, here we go. There's the crystal cave, I think, over there. Nope, I lied. It's actually going to show up the map. Whatever. See, that music keeps starting again. It must be a audio file something. But whatever. Let's save the game before we head on anymore. I'll call this Leovar 52. Because this is episode 52. And then this right here is really, I guess, the... not point no return, but this is when things... Yep. I don't think it's actually changed. Is it rebuilt? I don't know. I'll have to compare. I don't know if it's actually rebuilt, but the door is open now. The path is cleared. I'm not sure if there was rubble there before or just a locked door. Maybe that's all it's showing you is the door is unlocked. And the Jedi Masters are inside. The last of the Jedi. I have to figure out what our plan of attack is because these Sith are still hunting us and There's only 4 of us left. Well, 5 if you include Atris, but she's not going to be here. I'll tell you that right now. She's never been much of a team player. Well, meanwhile, on the Ravager, Darth Nicholas' ship. Wonder if he knows that his apprentice betrayed him and joined me now. Ah, Colonel Tobin, that's right. Kreia revived him and sent him to Nicholas with information. Almost forgot about that plot point.
Out of my way. I am Colonel Tobin of the Onderon Lord, I bring news of the Jedi, a place where you may feed.
Oh, don't talk about Dantooine, okay? I was worried for a second there. She didn't tell about Dantooine, she told
Tilos,
about
Master.
Tilos.
There is an academy of Jedi on Tilos, perhaps hundreds of them.
Oh, he's levitating, that's
Enough
cool.
to sustain you, and enough for you to free Onderon. Enough for you to free.
I wouldn't make a deal with this. He has no reason to keep it once you give him the information he needs. I love this music. This is my track. The one I was talking about earlier.
It is different. It has been some time.
I bet. Especially for her. I wonder how long it's been since she's been here. This is where Revan started his journey too. Twice. At least twice. Oh, it's all overgrown. It's really cool looking though. The sacred architecture will always look great no matter in what state it's in. It's true, like the symmetry and the alignment of things and the hierarchy. Nature has, if anything, improved it, I think.
But I need to rest. Go on. The council awaits. I will remain here.
Seems I must face them alone. Are you sure?
I will be fine here. Whatever answers the council have are for you. Alone.
Is there anything wrong?
I am tired. The journey has been a long one.
That it has.
To center myself.
That it has.
Know that much may happen here, but above all, do not forget this. You may trust in me. We cradle each other's lives, and what threatens one of us threatens us both. And if you find you cannot trust me, trust in your training, trust in yourself. Never doubt what you have done. All your decisions have brought you to this point.
Good life lesson in general. Something I've always believed.
Now, perhaps, they shall see what you have become.
Yeah, they are.
It is not as it was. But perhaps that is for the best.
We were wondering when you would arrive. This moment has taken some time to reach us, and I imagine...
Just trying to find Master Vash, but Trail of Force not bad, I guess. One thing I want to mention before I forget is, as far as I know, remember there are no Jedi on Tilos except for Atris herself, so if Darth Nicholas is expecting an academy there with hundreds of Jedi to feed on, he will be sorely disappointed when he arrives, but hopefully we can get there first, because it seems like a lot of things are pointing to Tilos, except for the droid factories as well, and of course we still have to... Obviously, we're going to have to see Atris again. Okay, so let's see. I need to know what you spoke of when you cast me out of the Order many years ago.
You already know the answer. You've noticed it in those who travel with you.
This is the closest. There's not really like a big revelation in this game like there is in the first one with, the revelation. But, this is the closest thing you're going to get to one. What are you talking about?
Have you noticed that when you act, others follow?
Those that travel with you.
There's something wrong here. A disturbance in the Force.
They follow you without question.
without hesitation.
Against their instincts, and sometimes against their sense.
It is because you are a leader, but that still fails to grasp the meaning of what I'm trying to tell you.
Are you saying I'm controlling them?
It is not an easy thing to explain. Sure, you are familiar with force bonds. It is the bond that develops between apprentice and master when one truly understands another. It is developed over time through understanding of each other. And if you do it so easily, and we do not know why.
You make connections through the Force, and it resonates with those who travel with you. The resonance is even greater when they, too, are Force-sensitive.
Good word for it.
Your
resonance.
actions affect others more than you know. You draw others to you, especially those strong in the Force.
So
When
it's
you
no
suffer,
coincidence
their
my companions are
spirit
force
echoes it.
sensitive.
And when they are in pain, their
They're drawn
pain
to me.
becomes yours.
So I guess what they're trying to say is that it's the fact that they all kind of are inspired by me and follow me, and their dispositions are affected by mine, isn't just like sloppy writing or natural charisma. It's actually part of the force bonds that my character, the main character, forms so easily for some reason. So how did this happen?
We do not know, but it is not the first time you felt the weight of so many lives.
And that is why the Mandalorian Wars echo within you still.
What do you mean?
We did not cut you off from the Force. You were merely deafened to it. Because of that last battle of the Mandalorian Wars.
The screams of
Battle
countless
of Malachor
thousands, Jedi and Mandalorians, crushed by the planet's gravity, annihilated.
Their lives still scream across the surface of that dead planet, and within you. To hear the Force over such pain, it is not possible. It was too much for any Jedi to endure, and it is a wonder that you did not die there when thousands perished. All those you had fought with and struggled with. You cut yourself off because you had to if you were to survive. You had hints of it in the war on Doxon. Malachor was simply the final blow.
You were deafened.
At last, you could hear.
You were broken.
You were whole.
You were blinded.
And at last, you saw.
When you returned to us, we
exchange, the
saw what had
contrast.
happened. You carry all those deaths at Malachor within you. And it has left a hole, a hunger that cannot be filled.
In you, we saw a wound in the Force.
In you, we saw the end of the Force.
So there's an expression for you. Seems to be not frozen, but or is it? No, it's not frozen. Just the animation. But yeah, let's see. But that makes no sense. I can feel the force again.
Yes, you can feel the Force, but you cannot feel yourself. You are a cipher, forming bonds, leeching the life of others, siphoning their will and dominating them. It is the teaching of these new Sith to feed on others, on other Force sensitives. They are symptomatic of the wound in the Force. You are a breach that must be closed. You transmit your pain, your suffering through the Force. Within you we see something worse than merely the teachings of the Sith. What you carry may mean the death of the Force, and the death of the Jedi.
So it's interesting the idea that this character has always been very sensitive and very connected to others. So when the final battle of Malachor 5 happens, we'll learn a little bit more about later on. But basically, a lot of people died at one moment, especially there's lots of Jedi too that she was connected to. She couldn't bear that level of pain to the Force; it was just too much to bear. So instinctively, subconsciously, she cut herself off from the Force, deafened herself to it so that she couldn't hear the pain, since if she had, she would have gone mad, not been able to survive it. So, and then because she was cut off from the Force, she couldn't follow the dark side, so she didn't join Revan and the other Sith Lords. She just was exiled on her own. But she still has that bond, except now because she can't feel her own connection to the Force anymore, she's drawing the energy she uses from those around her, and in turn pulling them to her, and that's why so many of the companions, I guess I'll say it right now, Mira and Bayodur are also Force sensitive, and if you have high enough influence with them, you can make both of them into Jedi as well. I got Mira late in the game, and for Bayodur, for some reason, it's just hard to get an influence with. There's not a lot of conversation options, so if you mess up some of them, you might not be able to do it at all. But yeah, those two can also become Force sensitive and become Jedi, quote unquote, if you train them up. Mandalore cannot. He's the only living companion. Him and Hanhar the Wookiee, if you get him, that cannot actually become Jedi. Part of that for Hanhar is because they were going to make it possible, but Lucas stipulated that Wookiee Jedi were not allowed unless he gave explicit permission, like Lobaka. And then Mandalore just, it wouldn't be fitting for Canderous to be Force sensitive, so... Anyway, so they're telling me that I cannot feel the Force, and that more than that, I'm a wound in the Force, and if it expands, as the Sith are doing, it could cause the death of all Jedi everywhere. But I can feel the Force strongly.
So you think. It is not the strength of a Jedi you feel.
He's right. It's all the death you've caused to get here. You feed on it, and you grow stronger. You're like Malachor. It's in you, it's what you are now. You must have noticed as you fought across all these planets, killing hundreds, only to become more and more powerful. Why do you think that was?
XP gain?
Worse is that bonding you have.
That's like the best justification I can think of for experience and leveling in any game.
The more you draw others to you.
And that is why you are a threat to us all.
You know what the choice is. If you don't warn them, then the Republic will fall. All those countless lives, innocent lives.
What if other Jedi went to war as you did, suffered the same events, and emerged as you did? What if there was a crucible that trained such Jedi to consume and kill?
For you, Malachor was that crucible.
What's worse is these Sith that we face. I fear that they have learned the lesson of Malachor all too well. It is what allows them to prey on Force users, to become stronger when Force sensitives are near.
Somehow they have learned their hunger
And that's
from
why
you.
the assassins get stronger as I
brought about the
get
end
stronger
of the
too.
Jedi.
Which makes
And
sense.
perhaps all the knowledge of the Force.
Because the ones I faced on
but it is of no
Paragus were
consequence.
way weaker than the ones I faced
Your
later on.
ability to make such connections, such bonds so easily are why you cannot remain.
Korea's coming. She can see her through the Force. She's
And
full
so
dark
you
side
wait,
now.
as a shadow.
Yes, we are alike that way, blinded one.
I would have thought you would walk with her amongst the Jedi, but that is not the way of the Sith, is it?
Do not speak to me of the ways of the Sith. You, of all of us, have no conception
She's
of
yelling
what
her-
it means to be Sith.
You are a threat to living creatures and all who feel the Force.
You will lead the Sith here, and that we cannot allow.
Our judgment before remains. Exile. You must leave. And you must leave without your tie to the Force. It is a punishment reserved for only a few, and only when necessary. But we have the power to cut you off from the Force, and it must be done.
Forgive us, but it is necessary.
So I'm trying to kind of... It's frozen again. I'm trying to repiece this together. I guess it kind of makes sense. Like all the... I guess the Sith also realized what happened to me at Malachor and have been using Malachor. I guess it also happened to Nihilus, and him and Cyan have been using it to train their army of Sith assassins to... I always thought the Sith assassins... Well, I guess they do work for Cyan, because the ones that Paragus served him. But I suppose both of them know the teachings that I do as well, and they also draw the Force from others to power themselves as these Sith assassins that train under them do. So this is interesting. I have a choice now. I can either submit to the punishment. I can say if this is what, kind of reluctantly submit to it. I can say I'm not giving up the Force, or I can say the Force judges me dies. One in the middle too. I'm worried I'll get dark side points if I say I won't give up the Force, stop this, but I mean... Like, I don't think it's as simple. I really don't think me giving up the Force is the answer. Even though I don't think 3 Jedi are going to be able to stop the tide and the terror of what's to come. I think they need me, whether they know it or not. So I'm going to say I won't give up the Force, stop this. Not being given much of a
Do
choice.
not be afraid. You shall feel no pain.
Udo
This
Paldroma
must be
had this
done.
happen to him as well, and
As
few
long as
rare
you
Jedi
feel
throughout
the
history.
Force, you are a danger to those around you.
So now they're going to cut me off from the Force that I can't take it from
Enough.
others. That was the wound.
Step away from her.
What?
Step away!
Go Kreia.
She has brought truth, and you condemn it. The arrogance. You will not harm her. You will not harm her ever again.
I thought you had died in the Mandalorian Wars.
Die? No. Became stronger. Yes.
Is this your new master, Exile? If so, then you follow Revan's path. Her teachings will cause you to fall as surely as she did.
She is difficult to see. She's like a shadow of the Exile. We sought to bring the Sith out, and now they have come to us.
How could you ever hope to know the threat you face when you have never walked in the dark places of the galaxy, faced war and death on such a scale? If you had traveled far enough, rather than waiting for the echo to reach you, perhaps you would have seen it for what it was. Did you not hear its call on Dantooine, Vrook, on its scarred surface, and in the minds of the settlers? I have endured your corruption of my other students. You shall not have this one. And you, KotOR, so close to the call of Duxan, tell me, did you not feel what poured from the moon, what had taken place there? And Zezkael, to hide upon Nar Shaddaa, yet blind yourself to all that happens there. So close to understanding the Force. So close to giving it up. There is a place in the galaxy where the dark side of the Force runs strong. It is something of the Sith, but it was fueled by war. It corrupts all that walks on its surface, drowns them in the power of the dark side. It corrupts all life, and it feeds on death. Revan knew the power of such places, and the power in making them. They can be used to break the will of others, of Jedi, promising them power and turning them to the dark side. Did you never wonder how Revan corrupted so many of the Jedi, so much of the Republic, so quickly? The Mandalorian Wars were a series of massacres that masked another war, a war of conversion, culminating in a final atrocity that no Jedi could walk away from, save one. And that is what I sought to understand. How one could turn away from such power, give up the Force, and still live. But I see what happened now. It is because you were afraid. As you would pass judgment on her, I have come to pass judgment on you all. Do you wish to feel the teachings born of the Mandalorian Wars? Of all tragedies that scream across the galaxy? Let me show you. You, who have forever seen the galaxy through the Force. See it through the eyes of the Exile.
She uses the technique as well. The ability to drain the Force from others. Which is reflected in Force powers here, like Drain Force and Force Screams. That's pretty cool too. Also, one last note, her hood doesn't ever come down in the original game. That's something they weren't able to program.
She will have the strength to do what the Council cannot.
What are we gonna do? If we don't stop her, then everyone, everywhere, they're gonna lose their lives.
If I lose her, it will be my failing. It is the failing of the Jedi who followed Revan. It is a failing of their teaching.
Soon your ship will come, my master. I will bring her before you, but I will not let you have her. Soon your ship shall come from that which made you.
I know you can hear me. I have always known. It is why I followed you. I have destroyed planets for you, General, but now, this once, if we could save something in this galaxy, I need to do this, or I will die inside, like I died at Malachor 5.
You've gained a new light side Force power, Force Enlightenment. Yay! That's that one I keep talking about that buffs you, all your buffs at once. So yeah, just to kind of wrap up what we learned there, or trying to decipher it, it seems like Revan's master plan to turn so many Jedi to the dark side was to wage the Mandalorian Wars and slowly kind of, I guess, make them commit atrocities the Jedi would not normally commit. And eventually culminated in the Battle of Malachor 5, in which he used a super weapon. Well, I wouldn't even know if you call it a super weapon, but he essentially destroyed the population of the entire planet at once, where all the soldiers fighting on it, both Mandalorian and Jedi, and those who remained were drowned in the power of the dark side nexus and gave in to the anger, except for one Jedi who had such a connection to it that she couldn't even survive by turning to the dark side. The only way to survive was to cut herself off from the Force, and that's how the Jedi Exile was created. Jedi General. Mr. Rook. The Master is dead, drained of life. His body is worth and lifeless. It's like an absence in the Force. I'll say the same thing. That's pretty much what I am, except they're dead and I'm not. I guess in that way it makes the player character stronger, the Exile stronger than the Jedi, because she could survive without the Force, whereas they could not. Alrighty, so this is a really cool place. This is the room where you train in the previous game. Is that an actual footlocker? It is. Oh, I didn't think it would be. Impossible. Guess I could try with the security tunneler. Let me do a quick save. This might be one of the ones you need to have mines to open. There you go. Joshua Mentor Belt. I think we might already have one of those. We don't. That's pretty cool, actually. Wisdom +2 on Force Resist, better have the strength for the melee damage. So yeah, let's try Force Enlightenment. Yay! So see, it barely costs anything at all. I have Force Speed, Valor, and Jedi Defense all going, which is really cool. We can explore a little bit, I guess. There's a corpse. Somebody didn't make it here. Some good stuff. I would hope so. I'm at level 29 at this point. I think that's the way out. So let's explore over here a little bit first. Might be one more container or corpse or something. I think I see one. Yeah. Not bad at all. High level loot. That's where the Ebon Hawk used to park, up there. So yeah, that's one of my favorite cutscenes, probably in any game. I mean, besides the Revelation, the last game maybe, but even so, this one it's just so well written and performed, and it's very philosophical, and you get the idea that it might even be too philosophical for the people who made it, and they might not truly understand what they're trying to depict, or if they are, then they're not describing it as well as perhaps they could be. But that adds a layer of mystery to it, and it leaves you thinking about it and kind of interpreting it yourself. So yeah, so it seems like we know the origin of these Sith from Malachor 5, and they've used the Darkside Nexus there to learn the same technique that I learned, because it was the only way to survive. Where's Kreia?
She's gone. The handmaidens came for her. They know who she is now.
And if you're a male character and the handmaid is one of your party members instead of the disciple, your handmaiden will be the one who takes her. You didn't stop them?
I couldn't stop them. I wasn't conscious at the time. I don't even know if I could have stopped them.
Where are they taking her?
They'll take her to Tilos, and Atris will do what she'll do with anyone she thinks is a Sith.
A Sith?
Are you surprised? All that talk of hatred, manipulation, and standing on your own 2 feet? Sorry. You don't get any more Sith than that. Still, if we were all judged by who we were in the past, I don't think you'd understand who we are now.
Yeah, so it's Kreia's an interesting character because on one hand it's super obvious that she's like dark side-ish, but at the same time it's also so obvious that it's not obvious. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like, well, no, they wouldn't make her a dark side user, and she isn't a Sith in the same way that, you know, Sion is just the Lord of Pain. He's corrupted by it, and Nihilus is the Lord of Hunger. Whereas she is the Lord of Betrayal, which is, at least in her opinion, she understands the truths of teachings. And whereas they are just creations of the dark side, she actually understands the teachings of the Sith. And I'm starting to ramble now. Anyway, H's will execute her.
Yeah, she will, if she can.
Then we're going to Tilos. Or the Sith are planning to attack Tilos. Everything will be decided there.
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
Let's go. So I guess now I can't upgrade my crystal anymore.
Troubled. I can feel it.
I fear I've been influencing you all without realizing it.
I do not understand what you mean.
Do you ever wonder why you're with me?
Never. I believe in what we are doing, what you are doing. I'm here because I choose to be.
What if the Force is just controlling all of this?
I simply do. There is nothing I can show you as proof, except give you my word. Something happened within the Enclave. What is it?
All the deaths I caused on Malachor might... That's right, I guess he was the general that led the Battle of Malachor under Revan, so... might cause the death of the Force and everyone around me.
Then they do not understand you. That is the danger of being a Jedi. When one separates themselves from others, chooses to lead a life of isolation, denying what makes them a feeling being, it is easy to make such judgments. And such judgments, I believe, are made in ignorance. There is no danger in what you represent, other than your humanity.
I'd like to believe
you
that.
change others, but I do not believe it is due to the Force. I believe it is because you are a natural leader, and because you feel connected to the people around you. Where they look at you and see the death of the Force, I look at you and see hope for all life. And that perhaps a life lived without the Force is not the punishment it is believed to be.
I like his view
I will
better.
understand if you feel you must go alone. I ask that you do not. Instead, take strength from your connections to others. Do not forsake them, as you did in Exile. There are others who need to know you. Tilos needs you. The planet and all its people are in danger if we do not stop the Sith now. Then the Republic will fall. Admiral Onasi, I have found the Exile, and that which hunts the Jedi. The Sith will attack Tilos. They believe many Jedi lie hidden on its surface. We are going there now to aid them. Mikal out.
I like that we know his real name now, Miko.
Who is there?
I'm most proud about that.
I am is not the question.
I am Atris, Jedi Master, the last historian of the Jedi, the last of the Jedi.
Those are titles, words you cling to as the darkness falls around you. It is not the first time we have met, Atris. I was here before.
With the Exile?
Yes, I was here both times when the Exile was brought before you.
Who are you?
I was the one who asked...
I did as you asked, so long ago. You seem familiar to me.
Atris, I have always been here.
You are that which has attacked the Jedi. You are Sith.
Sith is a title, yes, but like you, the title is not who I am. It is not what I believe. For you, it is different. Know that there was once a Darth Treya, and that she cast aside that role, was exiled, and found a new purpose. But there must always be a Darth Treya, one that holds the knowledge of betrayal, who has been betrayed in their heart, and will betray in turn. You have bathed in the knowledge of the Sith. But there is not enough truth in such teachings. But it will be a step for you. You have gathered Sith holocrons, Sith teachings from across the galaxy. It is why you have chosen servants who cannot feel the Force. And most importantly, they cannot feel what you have become.
I have sought to preserve the Jedi Order, and I have gathered all that I know of the Sith to this place, so I might find them and stop them.
I had wondered if any of these holocrons had survived Dantooine. You have taken relics from one destroyed planet to the devastation of another.
It was always intended for the Jedi to retreat to Tilos should Dantooine be attacked, taking all their lore with them. We could not allow the tragedy at Ossus to happen again.
Such an act marked Tilos for destruction. It is why the Sith came here, though the fleet commanders did not know why. It is why Revan ordered its destruction to mark the beginning of the Jedi's civil war. It was a message that there would be no place for the Jedi to retreat, to hide. I would not be surprised if Revan left other gifts beneath the surface of the planet. Much can be buried beneath graveyards that will never be found.
When the Sith attacked, I felt Tilos die. Turbo lasers fell like lightning upon the landscape, as they did on Dantooine, and so many died. So many voices, screaming in pain.
Yes, such acts leave their mark on the galaxy. Their cries travel far, though few can hear them.
How did it happen?
Search your heart. It was never battle that called to you, never battle that caused you to fall. Malachor 5 has touched many things, and it casts its echoes still.
Why did she betray me?
You betrayed yourself. Do not blame the Exile. And unlike you and I, there is still a chance that one may be saved. The one that you cast out.
Where is the Exile? I had thought...
Oh, she will come, but it will be too late to save either of us. It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
Another great line. So Atris 2 has been serving the dark side without knowing it.
Your mistress awaits. She has much to share with you.
Alright, and here we are. I don't know. I think we should probably call that an episode. So, seems like a good stopping point. I'm going to do a quick save right here. And when we come back, we will confront Atris and see what's going on.